Where does that energy come from? We understand it being an internal energy, right? Where do we think that energy actually comes from? If we talk about chi, where do you think that actually comes from? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Where your internal energy, we have energy, but where does it come from? So that's an idea. What else? Do you think that energy comes from your soul?
Comes from food.
Comes from food? Okay. But what is breaking the food down?
Comes from the stomach.
What is moving the stomach?
The brain.
What is moving the brain?
The heart.
What's beating the heart? Okay, we can go on and on for this. So what my job today is to help to lead you into the way that we think, and then put it to you. And then if you don't like it, you don't agree, that's fine, but at least I've been honest and given you my thoughts, and then you can just throw them away if you don't like them, right? But in the system that I've grown up with, which is the yoga system, we talk about something called the soul. Okay? And just see it as a concept to play with for now, this concept of the soul. And what we say is that when you're born and you come into the fetus, the soul enters through the head and it grows down and it grows a spine to begin with. Okay? And this is why, when you actually know anything about babies, the first thing that's born is a spine. Do you know that? When a baby's born, the first thing that's born is not the arms or the legs, it's the head and the spine. So in yoga, we say that the soul sits and rests along the spine. Okay. Has anyone heard the word chakra? You've heard the word chakra before? Okay, so what a chakra basically means is an energy point along the spine where the soul has got a residence or a station. So we have 7 of these along the spine where this energy center is formed. Now, for example, because someone mentioned the heart, there's an energy point which exists at the heart known as, well, I won't put the Sanskrit name for now, but I'll just write for now the heart chakra. And the word chakra means energy wheel, like a dynamo of energy, and it sits there. So in this traditional system, and one that I subscribe to and I'll talk to you about as we're going along, we have these 7 energy points in the body. Okay? Now, when you, and I'll tell you a little bit about the nervous system as well, which you might want to look into. Along these 7 points, just for proof of their existence, there are 7 nerve ganglia that have been found in science that sit corresponding exactly on top of these energy points. And their job is to transfer the energy from the energy point through to the nervous system, then through to all the local organs. So basically, with your stomach's energy center, your brain energy center, your throat energy center, they're energizing the throat and the collective organs and certain responsibilities of those, like the heart for emotion, the solar plexus for power, for pure raw energy, the mind for the brain, but also for consciousness. So it's like this system that we have inside us that we can't see, and science can never prove because you can't get it under a microscope. But also science is now noticing that you can't actually get certain things under the microscope, but they seem to exist. So we're starting in science, as you probably follow in physics, they're noticing that there's a matter that seems to have no matter, but seems to exist, a power. So I think we're slowly getting towards science and spirituality meeting anyway, and certainly I've been doing this so many years that I'm seeing people's minds opening up to an inner power. So I'm not going too much into that subject now, but just to note that what I'm going to mention a few times today will be the word soul or chi. That is something that I strongly believe in, and I'll tell you how that worked for me. Now, if you keep that concept in your head that, okay, we've got a soul, and I'll add to that a little thought that in this system, we also believe that it's not about just one life, that when our body goes, our soul exists, and that our soul is the pure power that's inside our body. So if we can tap into the soul, our body is stronger. Have you heard of Bruce Lee? Oh, of course you've heard of Bruce Lee, silly question. Bruce Lee was quite a small man and quite a slim person. But what he used to say, and what people used to say around him, is he had more power than most people. He had more velocity, more force. You see the 1-inch punch that he had. It was not, you couldn't relate it to his muscles, you couldn't relate it to anything, even speed. It was just a sheer force that used to, almost like an electric force that came out of his body at such high speeds. And they used to say he had a lot of chi, or in Japanese they call it ki, right? So this word chi and ki that I have in my company means that the first thing we do is we get our highest energy, and the second word is kri, and we perform it to the highest action, because kri means action. So chi kri is highest energy used in your actions. Okay? So that's a little bit of an example of what the actual company name comes from.